Hello everyone! Welcome to Live from the Dolce Vita Cafe. Hopefully some of you will join me live. I'm just going to take 1 second to set up my notes here and show myself live so I can see if anyone's joining me and I can see the chat box. Now, little housekeeping business. Remember, if you're watching on your desktop, if you look over here, there's an area where we can chat live together. And there's no comments during the live program. But then as soon as the live is over, the chat box will close and the regular comment section for a video will open up. So if you're watching the replay, feel free to type any comments, say hello, ask me any questions down in the comments below. And if you're live with me today, you can do that in the chat box and we can have a nice little chat. So last week, let me bring up my notes. It's February 7th. So last week was the last Dolce Vita Live Cafe that we did in January. And I was anticipating snow at that time, and we did get dumped on. We got about 10 inches of snow. And it's been steadily melting over the past week, but it hasn't gone away completely. And I woke up today, and it is snowing like crazy. I mean, I wish I could pick up the camera and show you out the window, but it is just really coming down. It's supposed to last for a few hours. So here we are in winter in February. Well, anyway, now that it's February, my January wine fest is over. So as you know, if you've been following me, I didn't drink any wine in January just to see how I felt because I was feeling a little brain fog and I just really wanted to save the calories, to be honest. So I went through January without a problem. And so I have broken my wine fest. I have had some wine. But my goal now is to drink wine a little less often and a little bit higher quality wine. So I had a really nice wine on Thursday evening. So I'm just going to try to maybe only drink now once a week, maybe twice a week, and just, see how it goes. I don't want to cut out wine completely because I love wine, and I think wine in moderation is good for you. So while the wine fest has ended, my La Dolce Vita diet has continued. So I'm still trying to eat lots of vegetables, not too many snacks, no snacking at night. However, today is Super Bowl Sunday. So I know a lot of you who follow me aren't in the United States, but if you are in the United States, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and that's a big day for football. And while my team is not in it, I'm still kind of excited about the big game, and I'm going to be making some snacks. So I'm going to make one snack that is kind of not that healthy, but for the rest of them, I'm going to try to make healthy snacks. Let me take a sip of water. So what I'm going to make is I have a recipe that I want to try. I've never tried it before, but it's for a refried bean dip. So you take refried beans and you mix it with a little cream cheese and some sour cream and some spice. I'm probably going to throw some chopped jalapenos in there. And you lay that out in a baking dish and then you cover it with a Mexican style cheese. And you just bake it in the oven at 350 for I think 20 minutes, something like that. And then you just dip in it. So I also like to make baked chips instead of always buying the fried tortilla chips that are usually really salty. What I'd like to do is take tortillas, regular tortillas, and very lightly brush both sides of them with some olive oil, and then I cut them into triangles with a pizza cutter. You can use a knife. And I lay them all out on a baking sheet, and I just bake them at a really low heat, just until they start to get golden. And they're really nice. They're kind of strong for dipping into things, and they just have a really nice texture when you do that. And it's it's better than having a fried chip covered in salt. But I probably will have some chips as well because not everyone in my household is on this diet. What else am I making? I'm going to make some healthy snacks. So I like to make Mexican style snacks. So I lived in California for 15 years and I really got into Mexican cuisine when I was there. And there's, just like any kind of cuisine, there are some fattening Mexican foods and there are some healthy Mexican foods. So I'm going to be making guacamole, which is very healthy for you. You get the healthy fat from the avocado and all the other little flavors that go along, and it's also great for the chips. And I'm going to make some salsa, which is also healthy because it's straight up tomatoes, with some jalapeno and some onion and things like that in it. So that's also good for you. So they're my healthy things for today. So if you're looking for snacks to make today, I have 2 healthy snack videos that I have made that are Mediterranean diet friendly snacks, and I'll link them down below. I made a Mediterranean diet friendly snack video. It was really popular and people asked me to do more, so I made a part 2. So I'll link both of those down below in the description when we're done here. Excuse me. Sometimes if I talk too fast, I have to take a drink. So I was thinking about my La Dolce Vita diet. I've kind of coined it that now, my La Dolce Vita diet. because it's a really pleasurable way to eat. And, I talk about the Mediterranean diet as a lifestyle. It's not a diet, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to talk about like some must-have foods to have around that really add flavor to your meals without adding a lot of fat or sugars or, it's not sugars or creams or cheeses and things like that. Things to have around where you can flavor your meals. And here is my book that I wrote, The Big Book of Mediterranean Diet Cooking. There's a whole chapter in the front here about how to shop and how to stock your kitchen and your pantry and things like that. So these are just some little tips. I like to keep lemons around. Lemons, you can add a squeeze of lemon to things and it really adds a brightness. You can squeeze it on any kind of meat. You can squeeze it in salads instead of vinegar. I squeeze them in pasta dishes sometimes if I don't want to cook with wine, and it adds a little flavor. It just really brightens up all kinds of dishes. So have lemons around. They're very versatile, and they're also good for your skin. So you can take the little lemon juice and you can put it on your face, and it's really good for it. Other things to have around are things like shallots and garlic and onions. And I've been really into scallions lately. I've been cooking with scallions like crazy, which are, some people call them spring onions, some people call them green onions. But I've just been enamored with scallions lately, and I've been using them in everything. So I just chop them up, throw them in pasta dishes, in salads, in hummus, anything. And also herbs. We talk a lot about herbs on my channel. So dried herbs, fresh herbs. These are the kind of things that really add flavor to your diet and add different variety to your meals. So there are a lot of countries that are on the Mediterranean Sea, and they follow the basic principles of the Mediterranean diet, but they flavor their dishes in different ways. So people in Italy use a lot of oregano and basil and garlic and things like that. But then people in Greece might use a lot of oregano, but they use a lot of mint and things like that. In Morocco, they might use cumin. So each of the countries use their different spices and herbs in ways to make their dishes unique. So you don't really have to get bored on the Mediterranean diet. You can change up the flavors. You can make one basic chicken dish and then vary the herbs and the spices in it, and you have a completely different meal, right? So just a little something to think about. So while my diet fast is over, my wine fast is over, and my La Dolce Vita diet is continuing, February I am dedicating to getting back into exercise. So I've been doing a lot of snow shoveling lately, so that's been my form of exercise. And I told you before about my coffee workouts that I do. So I like to brew coffee in the morning, and my brew pot takes about 7 minutes. So I set that up, and then while I'm waiting for my coffee to be ready, I do a 7-minute routine in my kitchen, just stretching, just anything I can think of, anything that I feel like moving, that I feel like it needs loosening up. I'm always trying to open up my shoulders. I sit at a desk a lot and I hunch over. So I've been looking for things to open up my shoulders and give me better posture. So I do that 7-minute routine, but I also really want to get back into some hardcore push-ups and toning exercises, and to add some light aerobics. So February we're going to be talking about exercises. So next week, maybe I'll share some exercises with you. So what else do I have for you today? I was reading an article about the quarantine and the lockdown, and how moms in general are the ones who are getting the brunt of the anxiety and the burden during this time. This time has been really hard for people who are moms. Now, I'm not a mom, so, sorry, I just touched my microphone. I'm not a mom, so I can't give any motherly advice, but I did have a fabulous mom. And I wanted to give you some tips from the Mediterranean diet that I can share with you that might make your life a little easier. So I have a friend in particular who is, she's a single mom and she's working and her daughter is at home and she's really having a tough time with the homeschooling just trying to learn all the crazy math that we didn't think we would ever need later in years that you have to relearn again because your kids are going through it in school. So, she's dealing with it really well, but she is also just kind of, dealing with the anxiety of it all. So I think many of you may be in the same boat. So I was just thinking that how can I help you through the Mediterranean diet? And because that's my specialty. And I think if you can just get a few really quick, nutritious meals under your belt that you can make over and over that your whole family enjoys, then that way you can sit down to a dinner. My mom always made dinner every night. So my parents own their own business and they worked from home, but a lot of times when they were home, they were working, so we didn't always bother them, but they were always around. But they always made sure to put into their schedule every single day we had a family dinner. And my mom cooked dinner, every single day. Well, she would cook Sunday through Thursday, And then we would do something casual for Friday and Saturday. And but we always had that dinner time. And some of my fondest memories of my childhood are us all sitting around the dinner table together. So try to add that into your life, no matter how crazy your schedule is being. We're all stuck at home anyway. For a lot of us are stuck at home anyway. And try to take that time to make a meal that don't have to take really long. Like the other day, I just put a video up. My most recent video was about a roast chicken. Now that sounds like a big complicated meal, right? But it takes about 10, 15 minutes to set up the chicken and get it in the oven. And then the rest of it is waiting time. And then you have this beautiful chicken dinner on the table when you're done. You know, maybe at the end, the last 20 minutes or so, you can make a few side dishes. Like I made mashed potatoes, I made some corn. But you don't have to do that. You could make a salad, or maybe you could make some rice or something. So then you have this chicken dinner on the table. And I had a lot of leftovers, so then it can be a meal the next day. You can make chicken salad out of whatever's left over, and you could have it for lunch. Or maybe for dinner the next day you could make chicken tacos or chicken enchiladas, or even chicken noodle soup, and you already have the pre-cooked chicken that you can just toss into some chicken broth and add some vegetables. So there are easy ways that you can try to make sure that you still get that nutritious meal. And if you keep it on the Mediterranean diet, it's likely to give you more energy, a more positive feeling. You'll feel good that you're providing for your family this meal during this anxious time. And it kind of clears up the brain fog, and maybe you'll even be better at the math that you're helping your kids with. So I hope this helps in some way. I just was reading this article about how moms are taking the brunt of this, and I thought, okay, I'm not an expert in all things, but I can help in one small way, and that is with the Mediterranean diet. So if you want some ideas for quick, nutritious meals, ask me down below, and I will get back to you. So I see some people have joined us live, so if you want to say hello in the chat box and let me know where you are, you're getting snow where you are, or if you have any questions, just let me know. Let's see what else I have for you. Oh, I was testing a recipe yesterday, and I like to test things before I make a video of them to make sure that they came out okay and that they taste good. And it came out, it actually ended up being pretty easy. It came out really nicely. So you can expect a video on this soon, because I really enjoyed it. I want to make it again. But it was a puff pastry with ricotta cheese and then roasted vegetables all over the top. And it came out really nice. And so I can't wait to make that video for you. And I probably should have filmed it while I was doing it, but I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. But it did turn out really well, so you can expect that one soon. So if anybody has any questions, put them in the chat box, or like I said, if you're watching the replay, you can put them down below. Let's see what else I have for you. Let me take a sip of water. I keep looking out the window and just seeing so much snow. I hope you're not getting bombarded like we are. Regina Rogers, good morning from Kansas City. Good morning. Hello, Regina, and good luck on the Super Bowl tonight. I'm sure you're excited about the Chiefs. I think I'm rooting for the Chiefs as well. I have some friends who live in Kansas City, and my team is the Eagles, and we're not in it this year. But the coach of the Chiefs used to be the coach of the Eagles, so kind of rooting for him as well. So good luck on the Super Bowl, and I hope you make some healthy snacks. And thank you for joining me. Maestro, I tried meal prep, and I ended up with 5 meals based around the string beans I bought. The problem with meal prep, I find, I don't do a lot of meal prep because I work from home, but I used to when I lived in California and I would go to the office. I try to do meal prep, and what I ended up doing is you make a bunch of stuff and you just make the same meal every single day, and then you're like, the first day you eat it and you're like, oh, this is really good, I'm glad I did this. The second day you're like, oh my god, I'm eating this again, this is boring. And then the third day you're ordering pizza, right? So meal prep, I've been doing a lot of research on meal prep actually, because people have been asking me about it. So I'll probably make some videos about meal prep and maybe cooking with leftovers. I kind of think of them as in the same category. But you can get creative with meal prep. And well, you have to get creative with meal prep or you're not going to do it, right? So in some of my research, some of the advice I see people giving is to make a bunch of a whole grain, maybe choose it weekly. And like 1 week you'll make a bunch of wild rice, or 1 week you'll make a bunch of farro, or you'll make a bunch of barley or something. And then to use that sporadically throughout the week in different dishes, and then maybe make some roasted vegetables and you can keep them in a glass container in the refrigerator. So maybe roast some broccoli or roast some carrots or roast some cauliflower, whatever it is that you like, and season them and keep them in the refrigerator. And then maybe one day you can make a vegetable wrap out of it, or maybe you can make some hummus. So you take a wrap and you spread the hummus on, and then you put your roasted vegetables on, and then maybe you add a few of the grains and you wrap it up, and there's your sandwich for the day. Or maybe you can make a bowl where you add the grain, you add the vegetables, and maybe you add something else like a little salmon, or what did you say, string beans? You make a bunch of string beans, you add a little string beans in there, and maybe you can make a sauce like a tzatziki sauce or a salad dressing or something that you can drizzle over things, and things that'll last the whole week. But the key to meal prep is variety, and pre-roasting things. Like, make sure that you have pre-roasted vegetables, and a whole grain really helps. So you can make a big vat of like farro, for example, which might take you 20 minutes to a half hour to make, but then and then you keep it in the refrigerator, and then you just add it and heat it up again, during the week. But don't eat it the same way each time. That's the key. Like, don't eat a salmon bowl with something every single day, or you're just going to get sick of it. Try to vary it, and maybe throw some in a soup, or use it as a side dish, or make a wrap, or put it in a sandwich, or put it in a bowl, or put it in an egg dish. Just vary it in different ways, so you can make maybe 4 or 5 ingredients for the week, and just try to get creative about how you put them together. So I hope that answers your question. I have been doing a lot of research on that lately, because people have been asking me about meal prep, just to save some time. How are we doing on time? Let's see. We're 16 minutes in. Let me look at my notes here and see what else I wanted to talk to you about. I just have a couple of things. Sorry for coughing. I just have a couple of things to mention. I'm taking a coaching course right now that is about setting 30-day goals. And so I've set a 30-day goal for myself to launch my podcast. Finally, I keep talking about I'm going to have a podcast. People keep telling me that I should start a podcast. And so I'm finally doing it. So I've been writing some of the episodes in advance, and I need to record them and things. But I'm hoping by the end of the 30-day period, and I think that should be the end of February, I will have launched my podcast. And I think I'm going to call it La Dolce Vita Files. And it's going to be based around Italian lifestyle and the Mediterranean diet, but like other kind of things too, lifestyle tips and things like that. I think it's really going to be fun. As I'm putting them together, each episode I'm putting a little homework in there, so you have something to take away with you at the end. So I'm just excited about that. I wanted to get that out there for you. And I'm also going to be teaching a class on how to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing it live. I'm a member of the Indie Business Network, which is a network of women who have handmade businesses. I used to be a soap maker, and a lot of the women in this group are handmade entrepreneurs. So they make beauty products and skincare and jewelry and anything you can think of with candles, anything you can think of that you make by hand. You don't have to be a member of the group to take the class. You have to be a member of the group to offer a class. But I've been asked to present a class on how to start a YouTube channel. So I'm going to be doing that on January 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's $25. And it's a 1-hour class, and it goes into minute detail about everything you need to know about starting a YouTube channel, how to set it up properly, all the things you can do for search engine optimization, how to upload your first video, how to set up a basic little set for yourself, and things like some video basics. So I really try to cram a lot into that 1 hour. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, go to indiebusinessnetwork.com/shop/YouTube, and I will put that link down below as well. It's going to be on January 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I would love for you to join us there. I think it's really going to be a fun class. So we are about 20 minutes in, and I have one more thing I wanted to tell you, because at 11:30 today, 11:30 Eastern Time, so it's 11:19 where I am, so in about 11 minutes on YouTube, there's a channel called Teatro Comunale Bologna. So it's basically the orchestra from Bologna, Italy. And at 11:30, they're going to be playing live Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 5, the Emperor Concerto. And in Italian, they call it the Imperatore Concerto. I love Beethoven. I love classical music. And I've watched concerts by this group before online, and they're in there with their masks on. They socially distance, but they're all there with their instruments. And the theater is beautiful, even though it's empty. Once in a while, they'll show you around. And so they're really trying to be careful about it. But, whenever you get an opportunity to see someone of that caliber play Beethoven, go do it. So look for the Teatro Comunale Bologna. I hope I'm saying that right. And I will put a link to the specific video as soon as I get off here. So if you want to join in 10 minutes, I think it'll be a really worthwhile experience. So I think that is all I have for you today. Thank you to anyone who joined me live. And as usual, if you're watching the replay, you can ask me questions, you can give me comments. And I will see you next week. Next week is going to be Valentine's Day, so hopefully you'll have time to join me in the morning. And we'll talk about love and all those fun things. So thank you again, and I will see you soon, and hopefully I won't have to do too much shoveling. Bye.